We are officially on the road to WrestleMania. The sign's going to be there at every single show. Every single storyline is going to be building up to April 19th and 20th in Las Vegas, Nevada. So really quickly to close out this one, I'm going to put it on record where we sit right now, Wednesday, February 5th. These are my predictions for the matchups we're going to see at WrestleMania 41. The World Heavyweight Championship, I kind of alluded to it earlier. I think it's going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther. They're playing the storyline where Jey wants to talk to Cody, see if maybe he should go after that title, but it's going to be Jey versus Gunther. Jey won the Royal Rumble, and this is the only sensible way for him to go. It's a rematch of Saturday night's main event, which a lot of people are not happy with, but that crowd in San Antonio was bought into that match. And I think that is what confirmed to WWE that the rematch happening at WrestleMania with Jey being the Rumble winner is something worth booking. And I think that's exactly why, maybe not why they chose to go with Jey Uso. I think they probably had that in mind before the Saturday before the Rumble, but I think that was confirmation to them that this is definitely the route that we want to take, even though there was no way Jey was winning that one on Saturday night's main event. So they're going to look to replicate that in Vegas. I think they can. Do I know who's going to win? No, I'd like to see how this storyline plays out first, but I do think it's going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, which leaves the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes in an interesting spot. The Elimination Chamber is about 3.5 weeks away as of right now. The two people that are in it, John Cena, who declared himself after the Rumble in a phenomenal press conference moment, and CM Punk, who took out Sami Zayn in a very good main event match on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. I think it's going to be CM Punk. I think it's going to be. Many, myself included, thought Punk was already going to win the Rumble and that's who he was going to choose. Now, a lot of people believe it's going to be a triple threat between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. One, that seems too obvious. That seems to be too telegraphed considering the moment that we saw at the Royal Rumble. Punk eliminated both Rollins and Reigns, and Rollins went after Reigns first before remembering, oh yeah, I hate this guy too, and he just eliminated me from the Royal Rumble. I should probably get into it with him. It just feels like there is a lot more animosity and a lot more story to tell between Rollins and Reigns in a singles match, and a lot more to tell between Punk and Rhodes in a Mania main event. And I know what you're saying. That means John Cena doesn't main event his final WrestleMania ever. But is that the worst thing in the world? I know that everybody wants to see it. Everybody thinks that that's apropos, that's poetry, that's cinema, as people like to say. But sometimes the best stories are the ones that are drawn out. He started a desperation storyline. Desperation. Not just, hey, maybe I can win this. It was desperate. It was, hey, I have to do this now. And then it kind of advanced at Royal Rumble when he got eliminated in the final two, and he came out and he said, what's best for business is me winning title number 17 and main eventing WrestleMania. I think that desperation, the longer you let it grow, the better it's going to be whenever Cena inevitably comes away with his 17th championship. And I think because of that, it's not going to happen at WrestleMania. I think Rhodes versus Punk is the best matchup that we can get now, and I think that's the matchup we're going to see, which leaves Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns to do their thing. I absolutely love this. If The Rock was not going to be at WrestleMania 41, this is the best matchup they could have made. Rollins and Reigns have shown little tidbits of this story throughout the last decade plus. We saw it in the Rumble whenever it was Cena and Punk and Reigns, and then Burn It Down played, and Roman's face just dropped. I love this storyline. I think both of these guys are in the perfect spot now to explore this storyline. And with the Roman Reigns injury angle, it feels like he's going to return to cost specifically Seth Rollins, whether that is at his qualifying match, which I think is less likely, more so at the Elimination Chamber in Toronto, especially considering they're saying he's out indefinitely. I think they let Rollins get to the chamber, and then I think they have Roman Reigns coming back to cost him and set up a beautiful 2-month arc with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Let's go to the Women's World Championship, where I believe it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. Anybody that watched Monday Night Raw saw the cracks, saw the story start to form between these two. I don't know how they're going to do it because Rhea cost Io an opportunity at the Elimination Chamber, which is hypothetically the last chance that somebody has to go after her world title. But the fact is, both of them challenged for the same title last month. Io fell short at Saturday night's main event, part 1, and Rhea got the job done on the premiere episode of Monday Night Raw. Rhea costing Io that match Monday and seeing the cracks starting to form in their friendship, I think somebody's getting taken out of their qualifying match, and I think Io Sky is going to be the one to replace them. They just turned Rhea Ripley face, right? She's a baby face now. They just did this at SummerSlam last year. Io Sky is going to bounce back the other way. She's going to take someone out. She's going to take their place because Adam Pearce is going to say, well, you were robbed of your opportunity, so go out there and try to earn another one. So I think Io Sky is going to take someone out, replace them in a qualifying match, make it to the chamber, and she's going to take on Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, which leaves, of course, Charlotte Flair to take on Tiffany Stratton. Again, we know this is coming. This is the match that most have looked at all, the last couple of months when thinking about, well, Charlotte's going to return. Who's she going to face? It's clear it's going to be Tiffany Stratton, who held on to that Money in the Bank contract for a long time and eventually cashed it in, which kind of solidified these plans to everybody on the outside, saying, okay, if Tiffany has the belt, the only logical option is for Charlotte to take her on at WrestleMania. Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, and it feels like this champion tour that she's on, starting with Rhea on Monday, then going to Julia yesterday on NXT, and now, of course, going to close it out with Tiffany on Friday. I think that's when she's going to say, you know what? I think I want to take it away from Tiffany Stratton. So I have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship and Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. There's 2 more matches I want to try to predict here. One is pretty obvious. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. We saw the beginning of that story at the Royal Rumble. I guess you could say we saw the beginning of that story a few Mondays back when Kevin gave Sami the opportunity to interfere in his match, and he said, in turn, I'll help you win the Royal Rumble. Well, that didn't happen. And now we're going to see Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 2 years after they main evented together, winning tag gold in WrestleMania 31. I think this is going to be phenomenal. It kicked off Monday when Owens hit that nasty package pile driver on Zayn, and I think this is 100% the free space on the bingo card now. You can write this in pen. It's going to be Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and they don't need a belt because this is going to be a blood feud. The one name I haven't mentioned in these predictions, well, I haven't mentioned a couple, but the big name I haven't mentioned is John Cena. So who does John Cena face in his final WrestleMania? There's a lot of options. He could go after Bron Breakker for his first Intercontinental Championship. That's an option. Mr. Grand Slam John Cena. That's an option. He could go after Logan Paul, who he eliminated in the Rumble and could eliminate Cena in the Chamber, setting up this feud going into WrestleMania. I could see that happening. The one that I want to see the most, though, not sure how we get there, but the one I want to see the most, and because this booking as of right now for John Cena is so up in the air, the one I want to see the most is Randy Orton. They had a great feud, but they never had a proper one-on-one WrestleMania match. I think that's the direction that they're most likely to go in. And since I'm doing these predictions, I'm going to say it's going to be John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41. John Cena's final match at a WrestleMania in his WWE career. Again, a lot of interesting stories and interesting paths that this could go. Shoot, he could win the Elimination Chamber, and it's Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. A lot of people would rather see that than Rhodes versus Punk, but it just feels like the time is right for CM Punk to main event to WrestleMania, and it feels like John Cena doesn't need to be in that spotlight and doesn't need to get the belt this early in his retirement tour. So I'm going to say it's John Cena versus Randy Orton, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in a one-on-one match, which is much better than a triple threat with CM Punk. He is going to go on to take on Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, and Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Hope you guys agree with it. Let me know in the comment section, what do you expect the WrestleMania 41 match card to look like as of right now?